It has become the new status for the Cook County District Attorney to keep postponing the hearing during which the Chicago State charges against R. Kelly are destined to be dismissed. District Attorney Kim Foxx has done this several times that it's now beginning to look ugly, and is therefore opting to keep postponing it privately as an arrangement between her and the state court. One may wonder why the same prosecution that has been showing so much hunger and greed throughout the two trials, first in New York and later in Chicago where their goal was to lock up R. Kelly for life, is now choosing to play delaying tactics and stall the process. The government has made way too many legal mistakes with the case against R. Kelly, which have cost them their credibility both as individuals and an institution as a whole. They know well R. Kelly won more than 60% of the total counts during the Chicago trial, a process that also featured an error that proved malicious intent by the judge who suddenly altered the indictment through a verbal command to suit his preferred judgment. And now they also know that the acquittal of Milton June Brown in Chicago leaves them with nothing to claim that R. Kelly operated a criminal enterprise, raising his chances of winning against the RICO charges in an appeal process. Because they know well that with attorney Jennifer Bonjean on the Chicago State cases, R. Kelly now has proper legal representation and the prosecution wouldn't walk out of the courtroom scratch-free. They definitely need more time to make the decision whether to carry on chasing after R. Kelly or to give up and quit. If anything, they know well R. Kelly has already won against them, considering the accusers don't have a strong case against him. Also important to note, the ugly scenes in Chicago when they presented an under-oath liar by the name Lisa Van Allen that they had to force to take the stand as if they had paid her for the job, later losing to the defense on the obstruction charges they had concocted, would definitely make any of the court officials with whom they may have struck deals to chicken out. They may have teamed up thinking the government had a strong case, but after witnessing the Chicago drama, any court official who wants to keep their job would think twice before engaging in any corrupt tendencies with such a team. Everyone has witnessed how lead prosecution official Angel Krull was eventually singled out and castigated for her corrupt conduct during her representation of the accusers. The shame she has had to live with in front of her own family, and the general public, who now know how she spent most of her free time sexting and romanticizing with a principal government witness Jane, and how she made illegal communications with journalist Jim DeRogatis playing the role of the detectives, collecting evidence against her legal mandate through a banner email she later disposed of, is enough to scare off any other partners with government in crime. Also remember that because of her illegal actions, Angel Krull, she had to lose her job and was given a forced premature retirement in an attempt to cover up. People may want to make some extra money, but no one certainly wants to put their job at such risk. It's therefore getting more and more difficult for the malicious government attorneys to challenge R. Kelly in court, and this is why the Chicago State case process will continue to move at snail's pace until the charges are dropped officially. While we would in normal circumstances expect the accusers' representatives to be the ones pushing for a quicker execution in search for justice, when it comes to the Chicago State cases against R. Kelly, it's instead the other way round. And despite the judge's past pressure to get things going and make progress, considering the two federal trials had been concluded, the now secret delay arrangements are causing many questions among the masses who want to know what the next step is going to be. Meanwhile, R. Kelly's defense team last week filed additional motions suggesting they could not proceed until prosecutors reveal more specific information about their allegations against the renowned R&B singer. It is rather strange to note that it is the defense seemingly taking the lead, while the prosecution continues to play delaying tactics. Another version of the story to explain the most recent failed session is that the judge during the most recent hearing that was successful had said prosecution needed to have their filings in so he could rule on whether the case would continue, or if he was going to dismiss it. He also added that he wanted Mr. Kelly presented in person during the next hearing, which was scheduled for yesterday. Both parties were to meet in conference in the chamber to discuss with each other before they could go in front of the judge. According to reports, the U.S. Marshals had an issue with bringing Mr. Kelly over to the courthouse after mixing up the time for the hearing. While the Marshals had 1 p.m. on their calendar, the time was reportedly changed to 9:30 a.m. and by the time they realized they had the wrong information, there was no one available to arrange for his departure from the MCC. Their explanation being because he is a high-profile inmate, extra security is required for his movement from the federal prison to a state court, and that there was no one to arrange for this in order to get him there on time. Many observers however think that this is just another stunt by the government to delay the progress of this case, perhaps an attempt to wait until after the Chicago sentencing, which is scheduled for February 23. According to Lamonte, there is indeed something fishy with the way the prosecution, who are supposed to be the ones hungry for the so-called justice they seek, to be the ones delaying this entire process. While yesterday's delay may not necessarily be their making, we are aware all the previous delays have been the result of their negotiation for more time courtesy of District Attorney Kim Foxx. Who knows, maybe even
Lupus may have kept me away in the past, but today I'm so here because Safnello works on my lupus here, here, and here.
Safnello is for adults with moderate to severe lupus who are on other lupus medicines. The first FDA-approved treatment for adults with lupus in over a decade, Safnello works across different parts of your body and organs that lupus can affect, and both parts of your immune system, so you can show up and really be there. Do not take Safnello if you are allergic to it. Safnello may cause serious side effects, including serious and sometimes fatal infections, and may increase cancer risk. Get help right away for allergic reactions. Tell your doctor about infections, recent or planned vaccinations, and your other medicines. Side effects may include upper respiratory infections, bronchitis, infusion reactions, shingles, and cough.
There's more to life than lupus. With Safnello, I'm here for more.
Ask your doctor if Safnello is right for you.
this time round it was the DA's office behind the miscommunication to get additional time. At the rate strange things are happening, we can no longer be sure what Kim Foxx is behind and what she isn't. According to Amir, when mentioning the legal mistakes the anti-Kelly camp has made while pursuing him, you forgot to mention the Bureau of Prisons' breach of their code of conduct, when they shared R. Kelly's private conversations with a one Tasha K to win over more of his girlfriends onto the government witness team. This scandal has been the most revealing among all the legal mistakes the government has made when trying to take away R. Kelly's life. We demand an explanation for whatever transpired orchestrated by the Bureau of Prisons. Otherwise, we can now imagine how many people are likely wrongfully languishing in U.S. prisons as a result of unlawfully leaking their private conversations to their accusers. This completely kills our confidence in the Bureau of Prisons.